Welcome everyone to today's video. Today's video is going to be all about the ultimate guide to NASMAR 2025. With many moves throughout the garage, many new creators on the schedule, and many new tracks on the schedule, and there's a lot more to get into today, so let's get right into it. First, we're going to start with the new drivers on the roster. We have Riley Herbst driving the number 35, and SVG in the number 88, and a lot others that reflect the real-life NASCAR schedule. We also have the moves like Stuart Haas Racing is going out of business. We have Josh Berry in the 21, Noah Gragson in the 4, and all the moves like that. So the drivers are going to where they will be in real life. And if you don't know those moves, you can go look at the roster in NASMAR, or you can go look at the Icebergs video about 2025. He has a lot of information on that roster. The next point I want to get to is that with SVG coming in the NASMAR Community Cup Series, he's most likely going to be a huge contender at the road courses because he already was last season. And, now that he's full-time, creators are probably going to use that to their advantage and probably going to have SVG be a big contender at road courses. This is just my prediction, but I believe that it's a pretty solid one. My next point, Denny Hamlin will probably have a mid-season. And, maybe he'll have a win or maybe two, but most creators are probably going to put him aside and have more of the new guys come in and have them win most of the races. Or maybe not the new guys, but the younger guys. They're going to have Denny Hamlin. Since Truex retired, Denny is now the oldest driver on the roster, which means, he's not as good as some of the younger guys, maybe. I'm still a big Denny Hamlin fan. That's a whole other rabbit hole we don't have to get into right now. But I believe Denny Hamlin's probably going to have a mid-season. Probably not going to be championship contending. Probably going to get out in the second or third round of the playoffs. And it's going to be that. I'm just going to have to deal with it somehow. Me and Rodko, of course. Anyway, the next point. Rookie and underdogs are probably going to perform really well at all super speedways. They already do. And, seeing the more rookies come in, they're probably going to do the same as they do in other years. We're probably going to see an underdog win at a super speedway like the Daytona 500 we might see. Maybe the second Daytona race like we saw Harrison Burton did. Maybe at one of the Talladega races. You never know. You just know that the rookies and underdogs are probably going to contend at these super speedways because the creators like to embrace that everyone's equal at these racetracks. My next prediction is there are going to be many different winners and contenders throughout the whole season. I believe that we're not going to have a dominant Chastain season like we did in 2024. Even though he didn't win the championship, he still had a lot of wins. And I don't think that's going to happen this year. If I had to preview it with all these new creators coming into NASMAR, probably going to make different guys win for their first NASMAR race to make a good impression on the series. So I'm predicting many different winners / contenders in the NASMAR 2025 season. And I believe every race is going to be very unpredictable, like NASCAR stop motion is. It already is unpredictable, but I believe it's going to be very unpredictable now, especially with some new creators, like I said before, coming in NASMAR for the first time. There's probably going to be some new details on these tracks that are going to have some wow moments and some wow factors, and they're going to have new records be broken in NASMAR this year. You're probably going to see some people try to have a record-breaking track or some very tiny details that some other creators haven't done before. They're going to try to be special, stick out to the crowd of NASMAR. Maybe you'll see it from some of the new creators, and they're going to try to stick out in their first make a good impression. You never know, but that's definitely going to be something to look out for, is the new details and new records that might be broken. And then you're also going to see a huge quality increase throughout the whole season as NASMAR continues to grow, and for the 5th year anniversary, the quality is just going to continue to increase, and this might be the best year in quality that we've had yet. And like I said earlier, hinting at this earlier, new creators are going to try to have big debuts. You have the cool style. You have many other creators going to try to get their name out there in NASMAR, going to try to do the best they can to make a wow race and get as many views as they can, use this to their advantage and being part of NASMAR. It's going to be really good for the series. I feel very good that we brought in all these new creators. And I believe we're going to have year 2 improvements of creators. Some of the creators that this is their second year, like myself, are going to have much better races compared to their first year races. And they're going to use that as a learning tool from their old races to do much better this year. I definitely will for Texas. I believe, though, the veterans like MLCS, Rodko, and others are still going to dominate in their quality. And Gavin Beers, I'm going to throw him there with his Pocono. They're still going to dominate in their quality, and they're going to have to put out the best races of the season, most likely. But I believe that there's going to be, like I said earlier, there's going to be at least one wow appearance that blows everybody's mind. And it's going to be like some creator that no one was expecting is going to come do like the command, is going to commentate with them, do something really special that no one was really expecting. kind of like the very unpredictable point I made, there's not going to really be any favorites until maybe the end of the season. But I don't believe there are going to be many favorites at all. Like I said, it's very unpredictable. So anything can happen in NASCAR stop motion, so you can't really have a favorite at all. And it's, like I said, it's incredibly unpredictable. You can't really predict anything. Except for me during the AAPCS Nashville race when I predicted that Chase Briscoe would win. That was very cool. But there's one more point that I need to say. The best will most likely still rise to win races. You're not going to see a rookie like Josh Berry in the 21 go out and do a dominant performance at Dover. You're not going to see crazy stuff like that, most likely. I don't know what these new creators are going to do. And, you're most likely going to see a first-time champion. Based on the other champions we have, Denny Hamlin was the first one, then Ryan Blaney, I believe, and then Kyle Busch, and then Tyler Reddick. We're most likely not going to get one of those four to have a second championship. We're most likely going to get other people that have not won a championship yet to be the fifth champion. We're not going to have a repeat to have a two-time champion. Like I said earlier, it is the 5-year anniversary for the NASMAR Community Cup Series, so expect some special cameos or special additions to the series throughout this whole year to celebrate the 5-year anniversary. I also believe there's going to be at least one or two rookie winners throughout the season, like a Riley Herbst is probably going to win. SVG is definitely going to win. I can count on that. And then I also think there's going to be quite a few races that end with caution or rain. There was a few that happened in 2024. I believe the trend will continue, and a few will happen in 2025. As we usually see when drivers don't have enough, or when creators, I keep calling them drivers, when creators don't have enough time to finish a race, they get it up to halfway, and then they end it with rain, which is not bad. It's okay if you don't have time. I'm glad you were able to even work on it. But, it's not the best, quality. You always want to have a good finish under green. But, it's reasonable to have a couple of those throughout the season. I'm just hoping we don't see too many. And then something related to that, there's also probably going to be some drop races. So the schedule you see now is most likely not going to be the exact schedule throughout the season. Most creators, or not most, but a few creators are probably going to drop their races. Then other creators will take those races. And you'll see different creators for different races. I also hope that this season we can finally have a full, complete season, Daytona to Phoenix, with only stop-motion creators, because it has not happened yet. I think last year there was only one race that was the real-life one. Hopefully that can happen. And then, there's a big new addition to the NASMAR Community Cup Series. We have the NASMAR Next Series, which allows creators that didn't get a NASMAR race to get a NASMAR Next race, which can show off their skills to hopefully get a NASMAR race in the upcoming years, which I believe is a great addition. Hopefully we can see some up-and-coming creators show off their skills and hopefully, try out to get a NASMAR race in 2026. I also believe that there's going to be a lot of super speedway chaos in 2025. Usually happens in NASMAR, and it's probably going to happen again. Probably going to be some flips. Probably going to be some flips at non-super speedways. We saw it last year. Many, many flips in the first half of the season. Probably going to see it again. The chaos in NASCAR stop motion is going to happen. It's not, you can't stop it. It's just natural because, you don't want to be really realistic. It's stop motion, so you want to take that to your advantage and not necessarily make it too realistic. I also believe we're going to see some photo finishes. And, photo finishes have happened in NASMAR, and I believe this year there's probably going to be a few more than last year. There wasn't as many last year. There was a lot of amazing finishes last year, and I believe that's going to translate to this year. But we're probably going to see some photo finishes. Photo finishes are inevitable in NASCAR stop motion, kind of like the super speedway chaos and a chaos in NASCAR stop motion. So there's going to be some photo finishes. You can expect that. Great finishes, at least. Some amazing battles throughout the whole season between different drivers. Probably going to see some rivalries between drivers. It's natural for it to happen in NASMAR. It's happened many, many times. And I'm interested to see and curious to see what the next rivalry can be in NASMAR. I believe there's going to be at least one unexpected crash, finish, strategy call, and more. I believe there's going to be an unexpected crash. No one would expect this crash to happen in NASCAR stop motion. That's probably going to happen. There's at least one each year in the NASMAR Community Cup Series, so that trend will also probably continue. The finish part of this will also probably happen again, as we saw it at Talladega, where it was super, super close, the closest finish in NASMAR history. Probably going to see something close to that again this year. Probably going to see an unexpected strategy call with some option tires or something like that. You're going to see some cool tire strategy that affects the outcome of the race. And then they're going to see something we're going to see a track. I know this for a fact. We're going to see at least one track that has insane quality that blows all our minds. It's going to be an incredible track. Everyone's going to be talking about it for quite a while, and that is going to be amazing. In conclusion, the NASMAR 2025 season has many, many things in store for us, and I'm very excited to see how this goes. As a creator myself, I'm glad to be in on the chaos, fun, and everything else that comes with being a NASMAR creator. Hope all you viewers were able to enjoy this guide to NASMAR 2025. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about for NASMAR in 2025, and who your favorite creator is, what race you're looking forward to if you're a NASMAR creator. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.